Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the rise and fall of Iron Michael Chandler. Now, for a lot of you guys that don't know, Michael Chandler started his career undefeated for a long time. Now, obviously, you can say that about a lot of fighters, but Michael Chandler, again, for a really long time, he was 12-0 when he was undefeated, and then he lost three in a row against very, very good guys. You watch the Eddie Alvarez fight back in the day, long time ago, obviously 2013, 27 years old, 26, 27 years old. I thought he beat Eddie Alvarez in that second fight. So again, I thought he won. I thought it was pretty clear that Eddie Alvarez won, but let's take it back a little bit farther than that. Makes his MMA debut in 2009. 2009. That's crazy. Okay, gets 3 wins in a row, all 3 finishes, or at least 2. We don't know right here in Missouri regional scene. Then makes his debut. Now, that's crazy. That's crazy. Makes his debut at 3-0, or I guess 3-0. Finish. Fights Lloyd Mix, who was 11-0 at the time, ended his career at 15-8. If you guys don't remember this guy, he has a Kimura win over Patricky Pitbull. That is Pitbull's brother, younger brother. Obviously went on a bit of a skid after that, but was good for a while there. Didn't turn out to be all that great, but was good there for a little. I thought his name was different than this. Doesn't matter. Fights Patricky Pitbull, beats him by unanimous decision in their tournament final. Before PFL was around, Bellator back in the day would also do tournaments. Actually, something I quite liked back in the day when I was starting to get heavy into MMA. And one of the first fights I watched was Brian Rogers versus Vitor Viana. I still remember it to this day. Me and my dad sat on the couch. We're watching it, and Brian Rogers, God, what was it? He hit Vitor Viana with a flying knee, and it looked like it took the soul away from Vitor Viana. I still believe he never fought. Let's take a little gander. Let's look real quick. Again, I don't think he ever fought again. But let's look. Vitor Viana, 12-3-1. Yeah, not a great profile picture. He's 45 years old now. But, yep, Brian Rogers, flying knee at the end of the first round, never fought again after 2012. Now, this is a guy that had a lot of success back in the day. A lot of success. Coming off a crazy big win over Brian Baker. Split decision over Sam Alvey. Very close fight. But that Brian Baker one put Vitor Viana on the map back in the day. Again, all the new MMA fans, they're not going to know this, but this guy was huge. And then lost a pretty, kind of lackluster fight against Shelmenko, and then got absolutely just destroyed against Brian Rogers. It was crazy. Bellator 61. Anyways, let's go back. But yeah, again, let's see. Beats Pitbull in the tournament finals in 2011. Now, this is what? He's had 4 fights until this Pitbull fight. Beats him and then fights Eddie Alvarez. Back and forth fight. I actually thought Michael Chandler was wearing down a little bit. Gassing out a little bit. Sounds familiar, huh? But turns the corner. This is Bellator 58. Gets its second win and submits him in round number 4. Then fights Akira Gono. I might have said that wrong, but beats him in the first round. About 6 months or so later in 2012, mauls Rick Hahn, who was really good at this time. Beat the crap out of him, rear naked choked him. Then fought David Rickles, who had a loss on his record, which should not have been a loss. I believe it was a split decision against Carl. What's his name? Carl, yep, split decision. I didn't think it was a split. I thought he clearly won that. So technically, to me, when I watched this fight back in the day, he was 15-0. And then Michael Chandler absolutely just mauled him. Absolutely mauled him. It was crazy. I wish I could show it on this freaking video, but I think it'll get taken down. But anyways, fights Eddie Alvarez again, loses by split decision. Again, I thought Chandler won. Fights Will Brooks, loses a split decision. I thought he won the first two, and he started getting a little tired towards the end of the fight, and Will Brooks was able to come on. If you guys don't know, Will Brooks had a little bit of a UFC stint. He's won 6 in a row, 38 years old. I think he's retired now, but again, this guy was 13 finishes, has been finished 5 times. But he was really good. Again, 1-3 in the UFC, not great, of course. 9-1 in Bellator, 2-0-1 in the PFL. This guy was really, really good for a really long time. Took a fight up a weight class and won the Titan FC title in round number 5 in 2023. I think he's retired, but that might not be true. But I think he is. I think he was retired. Again, really, really good fighter. I don't think got the credit because of his lackluster skid in the UFC. Again, loses to Brooks, fights Brooks again. Has a weird moment in round 4, gets finished for the first time. It was a weird one. Beautiful shot by Brooks, but a weird one. Comes back and destroys Campos, finishes Rickles again. Unbelievable. Then fights Pitbull again. Flatlines him, fights Benson Henderson, beats him by split decision, fights Brett Primus, gets that drop foot or like dead foot or whatever it was, and the referee stops it, even though he was able to hurt Primus. Very strange. Defeats Yamaguchi, I think that's how you say that, Yamachi, I think it's Yamaguchi. Then destroys Brandon Gritz on the ground with an arm triangle. He looked really good in this one, but again, first round. Then beats Brett Primus. I believe got his belt back. Yeah, got his belt back. Then fights Pitbull. Loses in a minute and a second. Now this is the... I thought he fought 16-7. I thought he 9-1. I thought he fought Pitbull. I guess not. This was just the brother. So, again, he loses to him in round number 1. Then, destroys Sydney Outlaw. Finishes Benson Henderson. And now he's in the UFC. Now, again, people don't realize how good Michael Chandler was. Again, whether it's you haven't watched a lot of MMA, whether you missed a run in Bellator, whether you just take what he's able to do in the UFC and you kind of exclude everything else, which that is fair. But Michael Chandler has always been a guy, if you look at it, look at his finishes, 11 wins by TKO or KO. He has 8 first-round finishes, 3 in the second, none in the third. You look at his KO losses, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. So this is the guy, and you only got to catch him, I guess that's twice. Let's see, who caught him in the first? Yeah, Pitbull caught him in the first, and Primus had the doctor stoppage in round number 1. So yeah, technically, Pitbull, as I was getting ready to say. So, again, Michael Chandler, and okay, so he fights Dan Hooker, finishes him, of course, round number 1. Fights Charles Oliveira, mauls him in round number 1. Absolutely is just bullying him in round 1. Got a little over eager, of course. Again, as you watch a guy basically face plant and then wake back up because you're punching him, you're gonna go for broke. He had him. It was unbelievable. Great resilience by Oliveira for sure. But he gasses out. And Oliveira is a guy that you can't, as a fighter, that you can't necessarily gas out on, because for one thing I love about Oliveira is, for one, his grappling is beautiful. But His striking is pinpoint. He stays technical no matter where he's at, what he's doing. That's the thing that kind of changed Oliveira in the game, besides his mind. And the mind's obviously probably the biggest part, but everything came together. Everything. Especially in that fight. You've seen it. It's not a Charles Oliveira fight without some adversity. So he loses Oliveira, loses to Gaethje, but again, for people that don't just look at wins and losses and they watch a fight, it's 1-1 going into the third. It's 1-1. And Michael Chandler decided, hey, let's play Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but you hit me and I'm not going to hit you. It's a very weird thing there. Loses a decision. Beats Tony Ferguson, but gets dropped, I think, 2 to 3 times in that first round. Drops him in the second. Beautiful shot, but didn't look great in the first. Found the shot in the second, though. Fights Dustin Poirier. Guess what? Hurts Dustin Poirier. Almost finishes him. Gets over eager. Gasses out. Second round looks terrible. Kind of starts to wrestle a little bit. The wrestling looked decent. Third round, what does he do? Super tired. Just trying to pick him up, slam him. Getting sloppy. Gets caught with the rear naked choke. Not great. But again, great first round. Bad first round against Tony, but still won. And then he fights Charles Oliveira. Almost, 2 years later. Here's the changing point for me. What has he done, win or loss, in his career before this? Push the pace, big shots, explosive, wrestle if you can, wrestle if if that's there. Because, if you look, he has 7 wins by submission. 7. I mean, Brendan Gritz, arm triangled. Derek Campos, he rear naked choked in the first, of course. Rick Hahn, he rear naked choked. Eddie Alvarez, he rear naked choked to win the belt. Marcin Held, a great grappler, he rear naked choked in round number 1. I mean, guillotine Chris Page, who was 1-1. 1-2, I mean. So, still, yeah. But he has this stuff there. He put it all together a little bit better before coming to the UFC. Coming into the UFC, he had the loss against Pitbull, a finish, round 1. Finish, Benson Henderson, outlaw, round 1. 4 minutes and 58 seconds total in 2 fights. And then gets in the UFC. Has a finish under 3 minutes. Under about 2:30 in round number 1 against Dan Hooker, a guy who's never been defeated. What does he do? Charles Oliveira hurts him real bad, goes for a finish, gets tired, gets finished. Get Justin Gaethje. Hurts Gaethje early. Gets hurt, I believe, in the second round. Loses the second round. Gets uppercutted, I believe, in the third round. Still survives, though. Again, it's a 1-1 going into the third. And Chandler didn't do anything. Not like he was trying. No. He just walked forward, was eating punches, which I never understand. Don't get that at all. But when he fights Charles Oliveira, coming back 2 years later, what does he do? Oh, he's waiting now? All right. You're shorter, you're smaller than a lot of fighters. Even when he hurts Charles, what does he do? He blitzes. Shocker, he hurt him. Oh, the thing that's worked your entire career, again, win or lose, you still had success. You've still won belts. You've still gone 5 rounds a few times. The thing that got you there hurt him. All right. Oh, and then he fights Paddy Pimblett. Guess what he does? Oh, he waits. Oh, guess what? He loses. Now, again, I'm not saying he's going to beat Pimblett. He's going to beat Oliveira. But when you have a fighter who is now 38 years old, who'll be 39 this year in April, 5 days from now, he'll be 39 years old. At 155, man, if you're starting to think instead of just going out there and fighting, what's gotten him to the dance? A lot of finishes. A lot. He has 13 first round finishes. 13. Now he has one sub, lost by 1 sub in the third. That was Dustin Poirier. Now, again, look at his decisions. 4 unanimous, 1 split, 2 unanimous, 2 split he lost. So he has 9 decisions he's been to. He's almost 50-50. The problem is, at this point in his career, he went 18-5 in Bellator. I think he's a 2-time champion as well. 2-5 in the UFC. He's been finished 3 times, and a lot of that, the Charles one in the first time in 2021, he gassed out after hurting him. Okay, Oliveira in the Pimblett one, how does he lose? For one, Pimblett looked good, but again, Chandler didn't fight like Chandler typically can. I mean, if Chandler goes out there and he blitzes Pimblett, and he's I'm trying to say it without sounding weird, blitzes him and he's successful because Pimblett doesn't have great defense. Where's the combinations that you landed on Hooker? Where's the combinations you were landing on Charles Oliveira in the first fight? When a guy is 38 years old and you're starting to not overthink, but you're trying to overanalyze what went wrong in those ones and you want to stop that. But by stopping that, you're stopping the success you had in 26 other professional fights, 27 professional fights. So I guess that honestly would be more than that. That's what, 28, that's 31 professional fights. And you didn't fight like Michael Chandler. That tells me, especially in the Pimblett one, again, not saying he's going to beat Pimblett or he would have beaten Pimblett, but it gives himself a much better chance. With all the openings that Pimblett has, which he does have, he still has. When a guy is starting to do that, it's probably the end. Probably the end. It'd be like John Jones going in there and fighting Tom Aspinall and being like, you know what? I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to do anything. And I'm just going to box with Tom Aspinall. I'm not going to try for takedowns. You see, it's different if you try and you fail, but you tried. Michael Chandler isn't trying now. Now he moves forward, but because of how short he is and how small in stature he is, his reach and all this stuff, and you're not blitzing, the thing that made people worrisome in their fights. Oh, you're just gonna be in a straight line now. You're not cutting angles anymore. You're not doing anything of that. That's not good. That's a bad sign. But as always, guys, I really appreciate you on the road to 3,300 subscribers. I can't do it without you guys. So if you can, smack that like button. Let me know with some video ideas down there in the comment section that you guys want to see. Please do that so I know what you guys want and I'll put out what you guys want. As always, I have a membership link. Click to join. It'll show you all the tiers. Again, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you at the live tonight. As always, peace.